Independent wrestling. Independent wrestling has developed a strong cult following over the years in North America as well as some other countries, Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, many other places. What is the lure of independent wrestling for fans, for wrestlers, for promoters? Just the whole lure of independent wrestling. Everyone knows WWE, the World Wrestling Entertainment, Vince McMahon and his characters such as Hulk Hogan, John Cena, King Booker, Carlito, The Big Show, ECW, SmackDown, everything that is run under the Titan Towers World Wrestling Entertainment umbrella. You're looking at the setup of an independent wrestling show. The ring crews, the promoters, the ring announcers, the bookers. You're looking at what goes into setting up an independent event. You have your building rentals, you have your advertising, your booking and contacting the talent. You have your matchmaking, your scripts, your storylines. Wrestlers right here working as ring crew to set up for the event. So there's much more that goes into being a professional wrestler on the independent circuit than just wrestling. The wrestlers here, they meet and greet family, friends as they arrive at the event and start to get set up for the event. The fans coming in through the ticket takers. The children, the backbone of independent professional wrestling, as well as the backbone of the World Wrestling Entertainment and NWA TNA as well. Because without these fans, there would be no independent shows. Because these fans provide the financial support for these independent shows. Independent shows, by and large, do not make a lot of money. So we're going to find out tonight what drives the promoters, what drives the wrestlers, and what drives the fans to continue coming out to these independent wrestling events. From the small spaces of the locker rooms that you're looking at right now, to the small venues they play, the many miles that they travel, the wear and tear on their bodies, and the notorious low payoffs for providing or performing their craft in front of generally small audiences. What is the lure of independent wrestling for the fans and for the wrestlers? On this DVD, we're going to find out as indie wrestling is now exposed.
I'm Don Brower. I'm owner of the UPWA.
What first got you interested in the wrestling business?
I was always a fan growing up as a kid. I really enjoyed it, and I said when I was in high school I wanted to get involved, and basically when I moved to North Carolina I met a great man by the name of Mark Ash, and he got me involved with ICW, and it's been fun ever since.
So this is something you see yourself doing long term?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's fun. It's a break. I get away for a couple days and I get to live like a kid. It's like, you know, most kids wanted to be firemen or wanted to be police officers or something like that. I wanted to be a wrestler, and I get involved with the business, and I love it.
So is there any real money made in independent wrestling?
Not cash-wise. Like if somebody's looking for it just to get into it, it's a really up and down business, because sometimes, you know, you can only please half the people half the time, and, you know, it's one of those, you get a few people who, you know, love the show, there's other people who don't, and, you know, you never really make a lot of money. Like, I'll never strike like a millionaire, strike it rich.
How can we keep in touch with what's going on with the UPWA? Keep up to date, brother.
We try to get our information out there as many as possible, but the main site is, we have our own site called www.theupwa.com. We always post the new names coming in the UPWA, all the upcoming shows, everything going on, and that's probably the best way to get in touch. And I have to say, Carolina Independent Wrestling has been very good to us too. Other than that, you know, they're the
we got Brazil comes to the ring. Introduce the first, weighing in at 109 pounds from Charlotte, South Carolina. This is Chris Craven. Do you think so?
Once the show gets going and the action is in the ring, you can see the wrestlers try to react. They do their best to get their moves down the way they practiced them, the way they rehearsed them, the way they set them up, at the same time trying to keep the crowd involved in the action. Fans, as you see here in the ring, are a little bit quiet during this match. The idea, the object is to get this crowd riled up, as loud and obnoxious as you can get them, while at the same time everyone is doing their job. The wrestlers are working their moves to their perfection, the referee maintaining control and being a messenger of sorts for the wrestlers to each other as well as from the promotion end of it. And you have the ring announcer, the timekeeper, who makes sure that the matches don't go longer than the time frame allotted on the show for them. He also plays cheerleader, keep the crowd anticipated. Now that we've seen a lot of this stuff, we're going to start talking with the fans and the wrestlers themselves. Hey, what's your name?
Spencer.
Talk loud.
Spencer.
What's your name?
Brian.
Brian, what's your name?
Jordan.
Jordan? Y'all enjoying the matches tonight?
Yes.
Have you been to one before?
Yes. No.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite tonight?
You.
Me?
Don't really know.
You don't have a favorite? Who did you not like tonight so far?
Red.
Red Bull? You didn't like Red Bull? Who did you not like? Who did you not like?
Saber.
Sable? You guys watch wrestling on TV a lot?
Yes.
Who's your favorite? On WWE?
John Cena. Rey Mysterio.
John Cena?
Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio? Who you like on, you watch TNA?
Yes.
Who do you like on TNA?
Sting.
Sting? Sting, who do you like? Big Papa Pump? Don't like Christian? Don't like Jeff Jarrett? You guys come out to these live events a lot?
Yes.
Jennifer, what's your name?
Steve.
How long you been a wrestling fan, Steve?
1980.
Since 1980? How about you?
Since Hulk Hogan.
Since Hulk Hogan?
Socks.
That's been 2 days before dirt then, ain't it? Who's your favorite WWE character?
I don't know. I mean, there's a few of them. It ain't Cena.
It ain't Cena.
Oh, shut up. Yeah,
I take it John Cena's your favorite.
Cena, bitch.
You guys watch TNA?
I haven't been keeping up with it.
Who draws your attention the most in
Samoa
TNA?
Joe.
Samoa Joe, the ultra fat wrestling machine.
Yeah. He's gonna be another Wahoo
I'm
McDaniel.
not exactly.
You're not into TNA?
No, I mean, I watch it, but I don't have all those channels like USA and all them.
No, I know you come out to a lot of live events. I've seen you many times. What draws you to these smaller independent shows?
First of all, accessibility. I mean, it's good that you got something going on in your own hometown. You know, I mean, I don't gotta drive to Charlotte or, Texarkana or someplace. I mean, I can come here and, see some people I know. It's a relaxed atmosphere. It's very enjoyable. And, I mean, I don't have to walk 2.3 miles from the car to it.
And one thing I've seen earlier on this film, you really get into it and you bring a lot of signs.
Yeah.
What gives you that extra?
Well, I mean, I'm like the only person that does this here, but I see it on TV, and a lot of the stuff they put on there is really freaking hilarious. And it's like, this is partly a tribute to those wrestling fans, but it's also my way of kind of bringing that element here. Because you don't see a lot of people in this area get into much real passion or excited about things. I like to come in here and act stupid and hold up a sign that says your mom was good or something like that,
Well, I know we're in Wilmington, North Carolina, and there's been several promotions around here, ICW, NACW, UPWA event tonight. Who are some of your favorite wrestlers on this smaller?
Oh, Mark Ash, Dave Renegade, Dark Star, Solitude.
And who are some of the guys that you really like to get on their nerves? Who do you like to aggravate out of all these
Prison
guys?
Bitch.
Prison Bitch? That would be Pete Nixon or the Felon?
The one that was like Curly from the Three Stooges, whatever his name is.
That's probably Pete Nixon.
The bald head guy?
Yeah, well, they're both bald, but.
The big fat one, he's all mouthy to the crowd.
Would you have would you say you have more accessibility to actually like communicate, meet, and talk to the wrestlers on this level?
Definitely. I mean, when you go to WWE shows, you're going to be able to talk to someone, maybe for 2 or 3 minutes. But I mean, if you really like professional wrestling, and you really like to talk to people that are in the business, you got to go to regional and local shows. You got to.
Well, so a lot of people don't realize just about everybody from Hulk Hogan on down has started on the independent level and worked their way up. So do you expect to see any of these guys maybe in the WWE ring, say a few years down the road?
I mean, that definitely could be happening because, when somebody's got a great talent, the word gets around. There's people that have started here or kind of had a base here. I mean, like for instance, I know Ricky Morton. Well, he's already famous and everything, but he's got a place down here in Charlotte, man. And I mean, you got a lot of people that Dark Star was on NWA national television, wrestling against Ric Flair, Tully Blanchard, wrestling against other guys, and he was a high school wrestling coach. Andrew Bellamy, right here out of Wilmington.
Right. And does it shock you to sometimes see what these guys do for a living? Like, Dark Star is a waiter at Golden Corral.
I saw him cutting a guy's yard when I was reading water meters.
Right, he did own his own lawn cutting business, and like Mark Ash, correctional officer at a prison. Solitude, former Marine, which is his character. I mean, does it shock you sometimes to see what these guys actually do to make a living?
Well, I mean, yes and no, because you know that when you're working in the local area, you know that it's not this is not like a big revenue area. You know that the guy's got to live, especially in Wilmington, and the cost of living is through the roof. And I say that whatever a man does makes him a better person for developing character, working to make the ends meet. It can only serve to enhance his experience in the ring, bring more to his character.
Now, outside the big crowd and, of course, the big theatrics with the lighting systems, Titantrons and all that, what would you say is the big difference between what happens in the ring, say in WWE, than what's happening here tonight in UPWA?
I say that one of the biggest things is the passion and the fans. Like, it's kind of hard for me to understand. Like, I know a lot of people in Wilmington like wrestling, and you tell them about the local wrestling events, you don't really see them. When they come here, they're not that into, like they should be. We get excited, but we can take it to a whole other level.
Right.
I mean, y'all put on some great shows in here, I think. Another thing is, maybe the promotion side of it. Maybe you can get some local free time on channel local access television and do promos between the shows, because that will help you with your storyline continuity.
Right, because the media definitely does not jump on our bandwagon as much as they would when WWE comes to the local areas. And
right.
I mean, do you think that these smaller promotions are being done an injustice?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it would be good. I always wonder why the sports page of the newspaper didn't feature local professional wrestling events. They'll put it in lifestyle. They'll put it in weekend. Okay, they're going to wrestle at Riverfest. But, I'm thinking, man, WCT could come out here with the Red Cross, do a blood drive. Hey, we're out here. Here's Mark Ash. We're talking to him for a minute. Mark Ash throws down a promo for the match he's going to do in an hour from now. Against Dark Star, whoever he's going to wrestle. You know what I mean? I'd like to see media and some other promotions like the Red Cross or Make-A-Wish get together and do a live, some live promotion.
All right, well, thank you, Steve. It was a good time. matches tonight?
Yes.
You did? Who was your favorite one tonight? Don't know? Who did you not like tonight? The black man? The one in the last one, Dan the Man? The one that always holler, who's the champ? You didn't like him? How long you been a wrestling fan? Long time? You watch WWE on Monday nights? Who's your favorite? John Cena? You like John Cena? Who do you not like? You like Triple H? You don't like Triple H? How about Carlito? You watch any of the TNA with the six-sided ring?
She can't watch it. It's
Can't.
too late.
Too late? It's on too late for you?
The only person that watches it is
Did you have fun tonight? All right, thank you. Name?
Priscilla Reagan.
Priscilla?
Yep.
Did you have fun tonight?
Yes.
Who was your favorite one tonight?
I'll just say you.
Me? You didn't like Sexton Tyler?
I liked it.
Okay, who did you not like?
Well, not his name, but the person who
Dan the Man?
Yeah.
All right, you watch WWE on Monday night, I would think.
Yeah.
Who do you like there? John Cena? Who do you not like?
Edge.
You don't like Edge? Why don't you like Edge?
Hey, he's cheating.
So, you watch SmackDown on Fridays?
Yep.
Who do you like there?
Batista.
Batista? All right, who do you least like there? Who?
King Booker.
King Booker? You don't like King Booker? How about the Big Show?
He's alright.
You like the Big Show? You have fun tonight?
Yep.
You gonna come next time?
I hope so.
You hope so? All right, well, thank you.
Robert Morgan.
Robert, did you have a lot of fun tonight?
Yes, sir.
Who did you like the most?
The Beast.
Who? The Beast?
Yeah.
So you like the Beast and the Ring Busters? Who did you not like tonight?
The prison guy.
Pete Nixon?
Yeah.
How about Don Brower and Playboy Marcus Shields?
I'm not really sure who they
You
are.
like them either? You watch WWE on Monday nights?
Yes, sir, I do.
Who do you like there?
John Cena.
John Cena? All right, who do you least like?
Carlito.
Carlito? You don't like Carlito?
A little bit.
That's not cool. All right, you watch SmackDown?
Yes, sir.
Who do you like there?
Rey Mysterio.
Ray Mysterio, little Ray. Who do you not like there?
Chavo Guerrero.
Chavo Guerrero. How about ECW? You ever watch any of that? You like Big Show? How about Rob Van Dam?
No.
You don't like Rob Van Dam? How about Test? What do you think of CM Punk?
Yeah, I
You like him?
CM Punk a lot.
How about TNA? You ever seen any of that?
I really don't like it too much. The only time I watch is when Kurt Angle's on there.
So you don't like that six-sided ring?
Nah.
Yeah, that's a little turn off for me too there. All right, you have a lot of fun tonight, you said. Gonna come back next time?
Yes, sir.
What do you like more about these smaller shows than, say, WWE?
They don't cost as much.
Don't cost as much?
And we don't have to go all the way out to Fayetteville to see it.
And you get to interact with the wrestlers a little more?
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Hope you had a good time. All right, thanks now. All right, we're talking to Carnage now, longtime independent wrestler. How long have you been going, Carnage?
Doing great. How you doing?
How long have you been wrestling?
12 years.
12 years. What got you started?
Well, I watched it when I was a kid. When I was like 5 years old, I started watching wrestling back in the day when it was the WWF. Back to guys like Bruno Sammartino, Superstar Billy Graham. All those major players back then.
Any pictures of Big Papa?
Wise, what'd you say?
Let's say I started with a small organization in Virginia called Ultimate Championship Wrestling. It was a small promotion, they trained me, and that's where I pretty much started working.
So you worked with a lot of big names over the years. Who all have you worked with?
Oh my God, the list is endless, man. Abdullah the Butcher, the Masked Superstar, Manny Fernandez, the Iron Sheik, Earthquake, Tommy Rogers, Honky Tonk, man. I mean, the list is endless, man. Endless.
So how long do you think you'll keep doing this?
Hopefully for, let's say, 12 years now. Probably, I'm hoping for at least maybe another 5 to 10, I hope.
All right, man. It was a good show tonight.
Thank you very much. Take care, man.
All right, bud.
All right.
Now we've got Wilmington's own Sexton Tyler, the UPWA heavyweight champion tonight. Sexton, how long have you been wrestling now?
8 years.
8 years. What got you started in the business?
Grew up loving watching wrestling. Ran into a guy by the name of Mark Ash.
That's sorry, sucker.
Yeah, you know, I've heard some things, but hey, let it go. But yeah, he got me into business, got me started.
Now I know you've gone a long ways in 8 years. Who's some of the bigger names you've worked with?
Oh Lord, Ivan Koloff, Rick Link, Carnage, Mark Ash, Barbarian, Tony Atlas, Ricky Morton. Too many to name.
So you've probably been many different areas outside of North Carolina. Where else have you worked at?
Into Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida.
So you think you've been doing this for a while to go?
I hope so, as long as my body will let me.
Amen to that, brother. All right, man, good match tonight.
Appreciate it.
Here, Pete Nixon, how long have you been wrestling?
Roughly about almost 3 years now. I've been training since I was 14. I worked my way up the ladder.
So what really got you interested in wanting to do this?
When I was younger, I was a big wrestling fan. And when I turned about 13, 14, I saw there was a school at the same town I lived. And I said, you know what, I've always been a big guy and loved it so much that kind of motivated me to do even better.
Well, this is an independent show down in North Carolina. Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey. We're about 10 and a half to 11 hours away from here.
So when you actually got started training, who were you working with?
I was working with Jersey All Pro, and I worked first setting up their rings. Then I became a manager for a wrestler named Crazy Ivan, and he brought me around to different places. And I went to the AWA school in Union City, and then I went to the ECPW school in Lake Hiawatha.
You met who?
Gino Carrizo. And the lovely Andrew Anderson. And Playboy Marcus Shields.
All right, Playboy Marcus Shields, how long have you been in business?
I've been in the business 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
What got you interested in wanting to be a wrestler?
I was 3 years old, running around the house around WrestleMania 3. My uncle sat me down. I was watching Macho Man Saturday Ricky Steamboat. After that, I knew I wanted to be a wrestler.
So when you busted in training-wise, who did you work out with?
I trained with Gino Caruso and Andrew Anderson trained me. Did a lot of worked with Scotty Charisma. Fred Sampson, a lot of guys out there. Josh Daniels, Nunzio Crowbar, Dan the Man, Jimmy Snuka, Kamala.
So we're talking about legends like Jimmy Snuka, Kamala. How many of you wrestled in a match?
I had the honor of wrestling Kamala in a match, and it was the greatest thing because he actually let me body slam him. I didn't ask for it. And he gave it to me. That's a gift that can't be given twice. And I also had the privilege just recently wrestling crowbars.
All right, now we're going to move over to Andrew Anderson. These last couple of guys have credited in their training. How long have you been wrestling now?
Too long.
Too long? Too long. What got you interested in wanting to be a wrestler?
Well, actually, I originally wanted to be a rock star because it's sort of sexual sort of thing. You know, when you see all these screaming naked ladies outside the doors, I figured wrestling would have that sort of same effect. But you know, it actually didn't.
Dude, tell the truth.
Tell the truth.
You said you wanted to be the Juggernaut.
I wanted to be the Juggernaut, bitch! No, but seriously. I was bouncing in a bar in Jersey, and a little fat man with a mullet came walking in, and a pretty built guy, Samoan fellow by the name of Jimmy Snuka walked in, and they said to me, I was walking out of the bar with a guy who was 6'7" on my shoulder and a fireman carrying in New Jersey, and I threw him out, and I turned around and the little Samoan fella goes, "Brother, I want to talk to you. I need to talk to your brother." So I came over, got inebriated with this guy. He happened to be Jimmy Superfly Snuka, and his little troll friend, the Metal Maniac. A lot of people don't like him. I don't know if I still like him. I know him too long, but he's all right, I guess. So they brought me up to Lake Hiawatha, where I was introduced to Gino Caruso, the Kodiak Bear, Rocky Jones, former WWE Tag Team Champions, the Executioners, and I had my first tag team match within 4 months against the Executioners, who beat the shit out of me. From there, I had my match with Jimmy Snuka and the Metal Maniac, a tag team part of the Metal Maniac. I I wrestled probably most of the biggest names from the WWE from the 80s, Tito Santana, Tony Atlas. I wrestled all over the world, Hawaii, Australia. I did some stuff for ECW, ECPW, AWA, HIWF, went out wrestling with Don Morocco. You name it, I did it already, and I had the pleasure of training a bunch of guys, training with a bunch of guys. I don't take the credit for training them. They trained hard, they worked hard, they trained themselves. Pete Nixon, Playboy Marcus Shields, the referee right here, right to my right, Chris Seacrest. So I had the pleasure of getting away with Mark Ash. He's filming this right now. Smile, Mark. That was a nice backdrop, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Carnage has lovely nipples. He's standing behind you, manipulating his genitalia. So, and that's pretty much it. You know, I had a nice career. I just got off working Test. I worked a few shows with, I can go on. I go on. I don't know how much tape you got, but I can go on forever. Crowbar, one of my dearest friends, worked a bunch of matches with him. Had the opportunity of doing a War Games match 6 months ago. It was great. I have a pretty cool manager, Doug DeVito, sports agent. I still think he's gay, but, you know, because he cuts hair for a living. So that's an inside joke. So
let's talk to the referee here.
Great kid.
I'm a little bad with names. I don't think I caught yours tonight. What's your name, man?
Chris Seacrest.
Christy, so you got into refereeing. How long have you been doing that?
I've been refereeing for about a year and a half now. Long story behind that. I actually trained as a wrestler, but started refereeing about a year and a half ago and did a great job and been doing that ever since.
Do you think you'll be doing this for a while, or are you going to move into wrestling?
I'd like to get into wrestling. I'm just happy to be in the business, to be honest with you. I love the business. I love being out there. So whatever I get to do to be part of it, I'm fine by it.
All right, well, let's shoot straight here now. I know on the independent circuit, through experience, you do a lot of long road hours and very little payoff. Does that bother you paying your dues that way?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. Again, I love being a part of everything with just the people, meeting everybody. Hey, you know, it really doesn't bother me.
He's in it for the girls.
I'm in it for the girls.
You're in it for the girls. Unfortunately, there aren't many here tonight.
Not many here tonight. Not many go after referees either.
All right, well, good job tonight, man.
Thank you.
For our fans at the UPWA event tonight, what's your name?
Richard Davis.
Richard Davis, and from my understanding, you work at a local radio station.
That's right, I'm news director for Cumulus Broadcasting, 980 The Wave, Double Q Country, and Coast.
So how long have you been a wrestling fan?
My whole life. My dad used to build rings for Smoky Mountain Wrestling, Jerry Jarrett, and those guys, and been a wrestling fan my whole life.
Yeah, I remember Smoky Mountain. I've worked there a couple times myself.
Good stuff.
So you've been a wrestling fan growing up. Who's been some of your favorite wrestlers over the years?
Ric Flair, Arn and Ole Anderson, the Four Horsemen, the Texas Tornado, some of those old guys. Big WCW fan myself. The Rock, Triple H, love the Eels.
All right, shoot straight with me. Not gonna hurt anybody's feelings. How would you rate tonight's action compared to
I say definitely a 9 out of 10 tonight. It was a good show. Really impressed the hell out of me.
Good deal. So you'll be back again?
Absolutely.
All right.
December 2nd.
All right, now, what's your name, buddy?
My name is the greatest man never on camera.
Well, you're on camera now.
So this is a first. This is a UPW first.
So, from my understanding, you work at a local radio station also?
Like I said, they never see me.
They never see.
I'm actually, people say my looks are made for radio. Well, I let them off the hook. I let them off the hook.
The guy behind you's looks are definitely made for radio.
Made for radio.
Whee! We got Andrew Anderson, a promo shot here.
He's also a tossing the Metal Maniac, the man who discovered me.
Metal Maniac. You know, a lot of people don't like him.
Nobody likes him.
He's also a Michigan fan. He's got 2 more weeks.
So how long have you been a wrestling
He's also a
fan?
Giants fan, though.
Yeah.
Giants fan, we won't hold that against you.
Yeah, all right. Enough.
So how long have you been a wrestling fan?
Man, let me tell you, since I was around 10, 27 right now. That's
you're a
a
young
lot of
man.
math. But hey, you know what? This is good luck. I feel great. I'm in UPW. So yeah, that's 17 years, about 17 years.
So who've been some of your favorites over the years?
Man, let me tell you. My favorite of all time would have to be, and I'd either have to go with Bret Hart or Ric Flair or the great one, Rocky Johnson.
So how would you rate tonight's action compared to some of the other stuff you've seen?
Man, my wingman just gave it a 9.10, so I like to do it a little bit better than him. I'm going 9.5.
There you go. There you go. So you'll be back again, I take it.
You know this.
All right, man. Glad you had fun tonight.
No question.
All right, thanks,
no
sir.
question. No question.
Big Dave Renegade. We're, of course, at the independent show in Wilmington, North Carolina. You're definitely a local fan favorite. How long have you been wrestling now?
12 years.
12 years? What was one of your inspirations to get into the business?
I believe it was actually grew up watching it.
Nice.
Back during the day, Wilmington used to have their big matches, and used to love watching the likes of Rip Hawk, Reed Hansen, Dusty Rhodes, Wahoo, Ivan Koloff. Just pretty much raised up on the old school wrestlers. Just loved watching. Used to play wrestling a little bit, but kind of found my way into tough man fighting and martial arts for years and years and years. Finally found my way into the ring. My very first match, I went up against this young man called the Russian Assassin, doing a little show for some old people. Of course, I beat him up, but that was a long time ago. I believe his name was Mark Ash.
But Dave, you and I, we've definitely been around the horn a lot together. And
we've been up and down the road. Nobody can tell you about the road as well as myself, of course you, Viper, Carnage, James the Beast, Nightbreed, Beasley. There's so many of us that's been through the thick and the thin and the hardships of independent wrestling. Everybody can say what they want to about independent wrestling, but independence is where so many people have cut their teeth. I've worked with so many people and have seen them go to WWE, WCW, ECW, and I love this minute of watching them and remember the days back when we had the time. But anybody that's coming up through the independents, learn one word, one really important word. That's called respect. Respect for who you're wrestling and what you're doing. And you do okay.
All right, thank you for your time, Dave. A young wrestler, wrestles under the name of Red Bull. How long have you been wrestling now?
Probably about 8 months now.
About 8 months. What got you interested in wanting to be a wrestler?
Basically being able to travel, getting to meet new people, see different people, see different places in the world. The money's interesting to me also.
A couple other guys said they were in it for the girls.
Well, maybe that too, but there's a lot of things, a whole lot of things that appealing to me about it, being able to use my physical gifts and abilities to make a living.
All right, of course you are a wrestler. I'm going to take it you've been a fan for a number of years. Who would you say were some of your favorites growing up?
Definitely Road Warrior Hawk and Road Warrior Animal. They were two of my favorites. Also, a big fan of Sting and also Hulk Hogan.
You had a chance to actually get in the ring with any of the legends yet?
No, I haven't, but the closest I have, I've been in the ring with a former WCW wrestler.
So you enjoy working the independents?
Yeah, there's some things that traveling is kind of tedious at times, but
and of course the notorious low payoffs.
Yeah, definitely that. But you got to start with the end in mind. I mean, you can't think about the right here, right now. You got to look at years down the road, and you got to make sacrifices if you want to become something great. So I understand that part.
All right, man. We wish you the best of luck.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Thanks, bud. One of the members of the UPWA ring crew. What's your name?
Brian Gordon.
Brian Gordon. So I take it you're a wrestler fan to get involved in this end of the business.
Yeah.
Who would you say are some of your favorites?
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold. How do you like the feel of, let's say, the smaller independents like you were at tonight as compared to, you been to a live WWE event? So how do you like the feel of the small independents compared to the larger scale?
I like, you can see a lot more.
A lot more interaction with the wrestlers? Yeah. So do you see yourself becoming a wrestler in the future?
I'd like to be.
You'd like to be? Give you some good advice. Find a good trainer and listen well. All right, bud. Glorious ring announcer, Constant Wilder. What got you involved in the wrestling?
Well, I've always been a fan of wrestling since Mid-Atlantic had came along, and my favorite two wrestlers when I was growing up was Rock and Roll Express. And I loved I always hated Imikoff and those guys, but every Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock, I was sitting in front of the TV watching it. And even after I got married, the Mid-Atlantic, right before it became WCW and all that, it was coming on late night. So I had a couple of channels, that was for TV cable and all that. But I loved watching it. And then when I got the opportunity to become a referee, I started doing that. And after a while, we decided that I was a little bit too tall for some of the matches, so then I got involved in ring announcing, which I love being part of the show. I mean, it's like an adrenaline rush. I mean, I've tried myself to get out of the business about 4 or 5 times, and it's like you get the bug and you come back in, and it's like, forget it. It's like in your system, and it's like your white blood cells or your red blood cells. You can't get it out, so you got to keep right on going. So, I have a wonderful time, and I work with a great group of people, including Mark Ash.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've tried to walk away 2 or 3 times myself. So you think you're hanging around a while?
Yeah, I'm not. I used to promote, co-promote with my husband and my son-in-law, and got out of that. It's just a lot of work. Some people do not realize how involved it is just to run a wrestling show. I mean, because you're working 2 or 3 days prior to the show, like 8 hours a day, getting posters ready, signs ready, name tags, making sure everybody's booked, and then you got to get there, set up the ring, and tear it all down. And I'm at the point in my life where I like to be able to pack my suitcase and walk out the door when I'm ready to. I ain't got to worry about somebody putting chairs up or taking the wrestling ring down, and you can just leave, tell everybody goodbye and have a good time.
All right, thanks a lot.
Mark Ash will tell you what goes on behind the scenes and if it's fake or not.
Well, wrestling per se fake is not a good word to use. Okay, do we know who's going to win or lose before we get in the ring? Yes, we do. As you can see, last match, when you guys are at, I broke a bone. I mean, so it's not fake, somewhat, just with a scripted ending. Because the average person couldn't get up and take the beating we take. They just couldn't do it. So there's a lot of hard training in it. Now, behind the scenes, you deal with people's egos. You deal with people. I mean, it's just like anything. It's like anything else. There's backbiting. There's backstabbing. Then there's people that are easy to get along with. There's the camaraderie, the family atmosphere. Sometimes I mean it all varies. But behind the scenes, it's just like behind the scenes of anything else. There's the good and the bad.
The rules of this match for tonight are: there are no rules if there's no choking with the chain, and the winner has to touch all 4 corners consecutively. Huh? No other more objects. Very good. Sorry, Mark.
How about Lady America?
No, it isn't. The winner has to touch all 4 corners consecutively, dragging their opponent.
2.